guys, how's it going? It's Rabea, hope you're all good. So here we go, this is the Revv Generator 120 Mark II. This is a 120 watt amplifier and it is packed full of features. Firstly, I may as well tell you the tubes. We've got 6 L6 GCs for the power section, we've got 4 12AX7 or ECC83s and 1 12AT7 in the preamp stage. This amplifier's got a effects loop, it's got 2 masters, it's got presence and resonance, we've got mute switch, we've got 4 channels, variable gain, variable wattage. The list does continue quite a lot. Let me just give you an idea of what this amp is, kind of ballpark. In terms of functionality, it's a JVM 410 style amplifier, so you've got 4 channels and you've got EQ on each channel, gain and level on each channel, except for the clean. We've got bass, middle and treble, gain and level, and then each channel also has a bright switch. The 2 overdrive channels have a contour switch and a fat switch, but also each channel comes with a little toggle switch between 120 watts and 10 watts. So you can essentially have some channels more saturated than others using the wattage switch. All of this is programmable via the foot switch, and it's a very robust foot switch. It's massive. You plug it in with a sort of XLR style Ethernet cable, which is super good. It's like a Cat5 cable. You can program the amp like you can a JVM with this. So I can choose the channel, the brightness, the contour, the gain stage, I can choose the wattage, even the lighting in the cabinet, depending on what colour I want, which master, and the effects loop, so it's super flexible. Channels 3 and 4 have an added aggression switch, so basically it just adds another character of gain over the top. So it's not necessarily just more gain, like more fizz, it's more like a different voicing of that channel. So it does get more gainy, but it also gives you a lot more sort of grunt as well. In terms of the tone of this amplifier, I would say they've taken influence from the 5150, they've refined it, got rid of some of the flubby low end, tightened that right up, and then got rid of some of the real brittle tinny high end. And basically it's a refined 5150, tonally speaking, in my opinion. Not just that, it does all sorts of other stuff, but in terms of its sort of heavy tone, that's what I'm hearing. It's built like an absolute tank, like it's seriously built to be on the road. The foot switch is robust. The whole thing is hand built. It's a tank. This amplifier has a tube buffered serial effects loop in there, so it's nice and crystal clear for any reverb and delays that you might have. And I guess, what else is there to say other than the Tolex that you can get? It comes in different colours. Mine's like a wine red, and they've put my little face on it, which is really sound of them. But yeah, it's a monster, and I'm just going to show you how it sounds. The signal path goes guitar straight into the front of the amp, out into the 2-note Torpedo Studio, which is running straight into my Universal Audio Apollo 8P interface. The reverb that you're hearing is post, so I've been using some of the Lexicon reverbs in the Apollo 8P. So here we go. It's a really nice clean channel, straight up and glassy. Again, I'm using a humbucker guitar here, so you can get completely different clean tones using the Strat. So let's try the Strat. So, I mean, needless to say, it sounds amazing, in my opinion. It's really nice, straightforward, transparent, glassy, clean. Because we're using the 6L6s, and because we've got that 12AT7 in there as well, it is remnant of the sort of Fender cleans, in a way. It's nice and warm, it's got a lot of headroom, and you can get the sort of really spanky cleans for the Strat, or something a little bit warmer would sound great with a load of delay and reverb and chorus on that clean side. Okay, so we're moving on to channel 2, the crunch channel. So much like channel 1, we've got a bright switch, we've got the 120 watt and 10 watt switch, but now we've got gain. So I'm going to put the gain right down at sort of quarter way up. Something really interesting about this channel is when you put the gain all the way in, it almost sounds like a fuzz. It's like they've dimed it somehow in the inside where it just gets overloaded, but it sounds in a good way. It's like a fuzzy germanium sound, so it's quite useful. So here we go. This is with the bright switch out, gain right down. So if I push the gain back to halfway, and I'm going to show you the difference between having the bright switch out and in. So this is it out. And now I'm going to push it in. They've really voiced that well, so that it's nothing that's going to sound too harsh. Doesn't matter how much treble you put in. Treble's just over halfway and it sounds great, so... Awesome. Push the gain all the way in for that fuzz sound again with the bright switch in. thing I like about this amp is it's not just, I mean, the way it's sort of been perceived by a lot of people online is that it's, you know, a gent amp and all that kind of stuff. It's not, it's an all-rounder. So far, we've only done 2 channels, and I've played with both War Pigs and a 50 Strat, and it's handling it, you know what I mean? So you've heard the clean and crunch channel with a vintage output single coil and a contemporary output humbucker. Safe to say it's surviving, it's doing the job very well. There's not a single tone so far that I don't like, and again, it's just straightforward and easy to use. So channel 3 now, we're into the realms of high gain. As you can see, the colour has changed on the front to a nice blue. Yeah, so this is where the aggression switch comes in. We've got the bright switch, but now we have contour and fat. So there's a lot more to choose from here. So we haven't got the contour in, which is essentially the mid boost. We haven't got the bright switch in or the fat switch, and the gain is, again, just above 9 o'clock. So high output humbucker, this is what it sounds like. Push the contour in. So instantly for me, that's suddenly become modern. You know, like you push the contour in and you get that modern voicing. Again, with a high gain output humbucker, you're going to get that sort of rounded growl. And now we're going to push the fat switch in. So now I'm going to use the aggression switch. There you go, that's channel 3. I'm going to show you with the Strat because it sounds immense with the Strat. So here we go, we've got the Strat in channel 3, gains at halfway, no bright switch, no contour, no fat switch. Here goes the bright switch. Going to push the contour switch in now so you can hear a bit more of a mid boost. Push the fat switch in, now it should be a really uncharacteristically fat Strat sound. Aggression. Okay, finally on to channel 4. So you can see so far how it's similar to the JVM, you know, in the sense that it's really simply laid out and you have those extra gain stages like you do on the JVM, but there's far more versatility in terms of the sort of tone shaping with the, you know, the bright switch and the contour. So hopefully if any of you guys get this amplifier, it won't seem so alien to you guys who've maybe familiar with amps like the JVM. So anyway, here we go. This is channel 4. So this is what I meant by that kind of rounded sort of like low end punch like the 5150 has. You know, it's got the same as the 5150 Mark 1. This channel, just without any of the extra character in, sounds to me just like the sort of either the crunch with gain really high up or the overdrive with the gain sort of halfway on the Mark 1 5150. You know, it's got the same rounded sound to it. So I'll show you what it's like with full gain really quick. Awesome. I mean, that's not all the game because we've still got the aggression switch, but that's what happens when you put 5 preamp tubes in there, and yeah, it's awesome. So back off the gain, let's push the bright switch in, give you a quick chug. Awesome, awesome. So this is the contour switch off. Contour switch in. Fat switch off. Push the fat switch in. So it's insane. And now I'm going to push the aggression in. This is without. Push it in. Okay, more aggression. This is the full amount of gain. Push the gain right up. So there you have it. There's the Generator 120 Mark II, an absolute beast in my opinion. If you've got the money and you're interested in having an amplifier that kind of does a bit of everything, then I would seriously recommend you try one of these out. Unfortunately, they're not available in the UK as of yet. If you guys have any ideas of where they could be stocked, then please contact your music retailer of choice and ask them if they'd be interested in having a look at Revv amplification. In the US, you can go to Riff City Guitar, or you can go directly to them at the website. These amplifiers are $2,599 US, so depending on the exchange rate, you know, it could change for the pound and the euro, but I mean, it's a lot of money, But that's what you expect for a hand-built all-tube amplifier that sounds this good. And I'm really not just saying it, like, you know, you plug it into a 412 or use my, you know, like a torpedo rig like I do, and it's just, the tone is all there, man. Like, it sounds great with the Strat, sounds great with Baritone, sounds great with PRS, probably sound great with a Les Paul. Like, it does everything. And then with the active and passive input, you can either choose the active input for active pickups or, you know, lower gain sound if you want. What more is it to say other than I love it, and I'm going to be using it on recordings, other videos, all over the place. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, please check out Revv application, and I will see you soon.